The jungle of Kriv 9 stretched endlessly, thick with massive ferns, twisting vines, and trees that seemed to scrape the sky. Strange creatures scuttled through the undergrowth, some glowing faintly, others making sounds that echoed like whispers. The air was humid and heavy, tinged with the metallic scent of the planet's iron-rich soil. Every breath carried a subtle danger. Even a scratch could allow the planet's bacteria to invade the human body in minutes. It was a world most alien species avoided, too dangerous and unpredictable. Yet for humanity, it was merely another challenge. The starship Intrepid Venture had landed at the edge of a wide clearing, its engines quiet now, leaving only the faint hum of life support systems. Captain Marcus Trent looked out over the landscape, his expression calm but alert. Humans had survived on far deadlier planets, and he trusted their instincts more than any technology. Beside him, Dr. Elena Voss, the team's medic and biologist, adjusted her gear, scanning the jungle with careful eyes. Her dark hair was tied back tightly, and her uniform bore the faint stains of previous expeditions, evidence of the dangers they faced regularly. The alien medical team assigned to observe the humans arrived silently. They moved with precision, each step calculated, each gesture deliberate. Their skin was translucent, revealing a complex network of veins beneath, and their multi-limbed bodies allowed them to perform multiple tasks at once. Their compound eyes shifted constantly, analyzing everything, as though the humans were a living experiment. The aliens had heard the stories, of course. Humanity had survived catastrophes that should have killed them. Humans had walked into storms of radiation, corrosive rain, and predator-filled forests and come out alive. Yet seeing it firsthand was different. Seeing the humans stand calmly in the face of a jungle that could shred them limb from limb unsettled, even the most confident of alien medics. Dr. Voss knelt beside a shallow stream, removing a small vial from her kit. She had planned a simple demonstration, a minor blood test to analyze human biochemistry in the field. A drop of blood, she thought, would be enough to prove her point without alarming the aliens. She called over one of the team members, Lieutenant Darren Hale, who extended his arm casually. The alien medics leaned closer, their movements stiff. They were skilled in their field, yet their interest was more than scientific. It was wary, almost fearful. Elena pricked Darren's finger, collecting a small sample in the vial. The humans expected nothing unusual. They had done this countless times before on far deadlier worlds. But the aliens froze. Their compound eyes widened, their limbs halted mid-motion. No one spoke. The air seemed to grow heavier, as though the jungle itself had stopped to witness what was happening. The blood in the vial began to form tiny, perfectly structured clots almost instantly. It was an orderly, almost mechanical process, each clot forming precisely, halting the flow as though the body had anticipated injury before it occurred. Dr. Voss watched the aliens' reactions with quiet satisfaction. "Do you see?" she asked softly, though the words felt unnecessary. The aliens were too focused on the blood, muttering incomprehensible words in hurried, guttural tones. "Impossible," one of them finally whispered. The sound was almost a hiss, a blend of alarm and awe. "It should remain liquid for minutes, not like this. It should degrade, destabilize, react to the environment, yet it does not. It stops itself." Darren, confused by the sudden panic around him, looked at Elena. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Nothing," she replied, her voice calm. They've never seen blood behave like this before. The alien team exchanged nervous glances. Some of them had studied human physiology from afar, but the actual sight of humans' blood clotting instantly, stopping potential injury almost before it happened, was more than they could handle. It defied everything they had learned. Marcus stepped forward, placing a reassuring hand on Elena's shoulder. "They're not expecting the unexpected," he said quietly. "We've trained for this. This is what survival looks like." The demonstration ended, but the atmosphere remained tense. The aliens were scribbling on translucent data pads, their movements frantic yet careful. They whispered to one another, glancing at the humans with renewed wariness. The humans, meanwhile, moved through the jungle as if they owned it. Each step was deliberate but relaxed, aware of every branch and creature but not afraid. As the humans ventured deeper into Kriv 9, the jungle grew darker, the air thicker with moisture and the smell of decaying plants. Vines that were harmless from a distance now threatened to snap like whips at an unsuspecting hand. The humans navigated expertly, stepping over moss-covered roots, avoiding the small carnivorous creatures that lurked in the shadows. Every minor scratch they received healed rapidly, the clotting process preventing any serious injury. The alien medics, meanwhile, trailed behind cautiously, documenting every observation. Dr. Voss paused to examine a peculiar plant, its leaves pulsing with faint bioluminescence. She touched the surface lightly, noting the slight acidic residue. One of the aliens reached out instinctively to stop her. "You cannot touch it," it said firmly. Alina smiled slightly. "We can," she said, brushing a small cut on her hand. Almost immediately, a tiny clot formed, sealing the wound. The alien recoiled, stepping back. "See, nothing happens, we adapt." The words carried more weight than she realized. Humanity's adaptation wasn't just biological, it was instinctive. It was a combination of intelligence, resilience, and the ability to thrive in conditions that would have crippled almost any other species. The alien medics were beginning to understand that their assumptions about humans were dangerously flawed. Night fell over Kriv 9, and the jungle transformed. Bioluminescent insects flitted like stars among the trees, and predators that had been hidden in the shadows began to move. The humans set up a temporary camp on a raised plateau, their equipment efficient but minimal. Fires burned low, their heat and light carefully controlled to avoid attracting attention. The aliens observed from a safe distance, their senses alert to every movement. Despite their advanced technology, they felt exposed. Their usual tools of control, containment fields, chemical stabilizers, and environmental monitoring, were useless here. Human instincts and biology rendered their tech almost meaningless. Alina sat quietly, cleaning instruments from the day. Darren joined her, settling on a rock beside the fire. "Do you think they're afraid of us?" he asked. "Not afraid," she corrected. "They're realizing they can't control us. That's different. Fear is temporary. Realizing you're powerless, that can be dangerous." Marcus joined them, looking out at the jungle below. "We knew this when we came here," he said. "Kriv 9 is a death world. We survive because we're humans. Everything about us has been shaped by adversity. They won't understand that, not yet." Sleep came fitfully. The jungle was alive with sounds. The snap of branches, the distant roar of predators, the hum of insects. Every human on the team slept lightly, prepared for danger, but they were safe. Their blood had done what it always did. It prevented serious injury and kept them alive. When dawn broke, Kriv 9 revealed its full colors. Giant flowers unfurled, releasing clouds of spores. Predatory creatures emerged from hidden nests, stalking silently. The humans moved as one, aware of their surroundings, their senses tuned to danger. The alien medics followed reluctantly, careful to maintain a safe distance. A sudden movement in the foliage caught Alina's eye. A creature, massive and armored, lunged from the undergrowth. Its claws could shred metal, its jaws could crush bone. Without hesitation, a human team member dodged, landing nimbly on a moss-covered root. Another threw a small explosive, carefully aimed to scare the creature without harming it fatally. It roared in frustration and fled. The aliens watched in disbelief. "They fight differently," one whispered. "Not with weapons, with instincts, with their bodies." Alina smiled grimly. "Every scar tells a story," she said. "Every survival instinct is honed over generations. We don't just react, we anticipate. That's why we're still here." The team continued, moving deeper into the jungle. Every minor cut or scratch was met with rapid clotting, preventing infection. Every environmental hazard was navigated with precision. Every predator encounter ended with humans emerging unscathed, while alien observers struggled to keep pace. By midday, they reached a cliff overlooking a vast river of molten minerals, steaming and glowing under the sun. Crossing it would be deadly for most species, but for humans, it was another test. Using improvised tools and careful timing, they navigated the treacherous path. A small slip could have been fatal, but clotting and rapid reflexes saved them repeatedly. The aliens muttered among themselves, their fear growing. They had seen creatures die in this jungle before. They had seen other species falter and perish. But humans survived. Every test they faced, every hazard, every threat they adapted and overcame. By evening, the team had set up another camp near a dense grove. The alien medics were exhausted, their systems strained by the unfamiliar conditions. Their earlier confidence was gone. Humanity, in its raw, instinctive survival, had shown them a reality they weren't ready to accept. Elena sat by the fire, watching the stars emerge above the jungle canopy. "We're not fragile," she murmured. "We never were. And no one, no alien, no species will ever convince us otherwise." The night was quiet but tense. Somewhere in the jungle, creatures moved, watching, testing. The humans slept lightly, their bodies ready for anything, their instincts honed by millennia of surviving Deathworlds. The alien medics stayed awake, scribbling notes, their minds racing. They had seen the impossible. Human blood that defied biology, humans who moved with instinct and precision, humans who survived where others died. And as Kriv-9 jungle breathed around them, the humans of the intrepid venture prepared for whatever came next, confident in what they had always known. Humanity was dangerous, adaptable, and unstoppable. The morning sun rose over Kriv-9, casting long golden rays through the thick canopy. Mist clung to the massive ferns, and the ground beneath the human team was soft, damp, and alive. The humans moved carefully, yet confidently, through the dense jungle, their steps light and deliberate. Each movement was measured, each handhold secure. Where alien species would hesitate, humans pressed forward, trusting instincts honed over millennia on Deathworlds. The alien medics followed at a distance, their translucent limbs glowing faintly under the morning light. Their compound eyes constantly flicked from one human to another, recording every detail, analyzing every action. They were no longer simply observers. The humans had broken their assumptions, shattered every expectation, and now the aliens were desperate to understand. Doctor. Voss carried a small kit in her hands, prepared for any minor injury, but already she noticed a pattern. Even minor scratches, abrasions, or nicks from branches were sealing almost instantly. Tiny clots formed within seconds, stopping blood before it could even pool. The aliens were watching, their murmurs tense. One of them muttered something that Elena did not understand, but the tone carried awe, disbelief, and fear. By mid-morning, the humans reached a clearing filled with exotic plants. Some were harmless, swaying gently in the wind, while others oozed acidic sap that could burn through metal. Elena paused beside one particularly dangerous specimen, pointing it out to the team. "Careful," she said. "This one is nasty." Lieutenant Darren Hale reached for a small branch to test it. He pricked his hand slightly on a hidden thorn. The humans barely noticed, but Elena immediately grabbed a vial, taking a drop of his blood. The aliens froze again, their eyes widening. The blood was clotted perfectly. Each tiny red droplet had formed a structured pattern, almost geometric in shape, as though it were anticipating harm. The aliens whispered rapidly among themselves, their voices high-pitched and tense. Some stepped back, visibly unsettled. One of them scanned the blood with a portable analyzer, only to shake its head in confusion. "It should not behave like this," it said finally. "It should break down, react. It cannot do this." Elena smiled faintly. "It's exactly what I told you yesterday," she said softly. "It's natural. We don't need chemicals or machines to survive here. We adapt." The alien medics exchanged nervous glances. Their technology, their carefully controlled laboratories, all the theories they had relied on, it could not explain this. They had thought human blood would be fragile, prone to failure in hostile conditions. Instead, it was almost superhuman, reacting instantly to threats and damage. Curiosity overcame fear for some of the aliens. They tried to replicate the clotting with samples, exposing them to extreme heat, acidic solutions, and radioactive dust. Each attempt failed. The blood defied their experiments, coagulating as though guided by a hidden intelligence. One alien even tried to apply a chemical accelerator meant for their own species' blood. The result was immediate, but not what they expected. The human blood clotted faster, forming a lattice so strong it almost resembled reinforced metal under a microscope. Marcus Trent observed the scene quietly. "They're testing you," he said to Elena, nodding toward the alien medics. "But it doesn't matter. We survive no matter what they throw at us." Elena watched the alien medics, noting the tension in their postures. They were not hostile. They were desperate. They had believed themselves the most advanced species in medical science. They had assumed that technology and analysis could control life itself. Now, faced with the raw efficiency of human biology, they realized how wrong they had been. The humans pressed on, moving deeper into Kriv-9. The jungle became darker, thicker, and more dangerous. Massive vines twisted around tree trunks like living snakes. Predatory plants lurked along every path, snapping shut at the slightest movement. Even the ground itself seemed alive, shifting subtly, threatening to throw off an unsuspecting foot. Still, the humans moved with confidence. Each step was calculated, each movement precise. Minor scratches and cuts were sealed instantly, blood coagulating before it could even drip. The alien medics followed at a cautious distance, documenting everything. They had begun to whisper amongst themselves, occasionally exchanging phrases that carried fear and awe. By afternoon, the team encountered one of Kriv-9's more dangerous predators, a massive arachnid-like creature, its body armored in chitin and bristling with sharp spines. Its 8 eyes reflected the sunlight, each one focusing on the humans as prey. Alina signaled the team to halt. "Watch it," she whispered. "It's fast and strong but predictable." The aliens tensed, stepping closer as though they could intervene, but Marcus shook his head. "Let them watch," he said. "We'll show them." The humans moved in synchronized motion. One threw a small net to distract the creature, while another used a branch to lure it in a specific direction. The arachnid lunged, claws snapping, but the humans anticipated every movement, dodging effortlessly. A minor scratch on one of the team members was immediately sealed by clotting, and the creature eventually retreated, frustrated and unharmed. The aliens were silent, their analysis interrupted by the obvious reality. Humans survived not just through strategy, but through instinct, resilience, and their astonishing biology. Every movement, every reaction was perfectly attuned to survival. The team reached a natural clearing with a wide, shallow river cutting through the jungle. The water was boiling in some areas due to geothermal vents, while in others, it was dark and murky, hiding creatures that could strike without warning. The humans paused, assessing the safest crossing. One alien medic muttered something, pointing at the humans. "Even when the environment is lethal, they navigate it," it said. "They adapt instantly. This cannot be natural." Alina glanced at the medic, calm but firm. "It is natural," she said. "This is what humans do. We survive. We don't just live, we thrive where others fail." The humans crossed carefully. Small cuts from jagged stones and hot water splashes appeared, but each was minor. Clotting occurred immediately, preventing infection or serious injury. The aliens watched, unable to comprehend the speed and efficiency. They had trained for thousands of cycles, studied countless species, but nothing prepared them for humans. By evening, the team had set up camp near a grove of towering, bioluminescent plants. The aliens remained at a distance, exhausted and frustrated. Even with their advanced physiology, the jungle had drained their energy. They had underestimated the humans' endurance and adaptability. As the firelight danced over the humans' faces, Alina reflected quietly. "They don't understand us," she said. "They see us as fragile, but we've survived worse than any jungle. We've survived worlds that would kill them instantly, and here now we're showing them why." Darren looked at her, curiosity in his eyes. "Do you think they're scared?" Alina shook her head. "Not exactly. Scared is temporary. They're realizing they can't control us. That's different. That's dangerous for them and for anyone who underestimates humanity." Night descended, and the jungle came alive in strange ways. The air buzzed with the sounds of unseen creatures, while glowing plants cast eerie shadows across the campsite. Every human slept lightly, prepared for any threat, their bodies ready to respond instantly. Even small injuries were sealed before they could become dangerous. The aliens remained awake, observing, documenting, whispering. Their minds raced. They had seen impossible clotting, rapid healing, instinctive survival tactics. They had seen humans navigate deathworlds with ease. They had seen a species that was not just surviving, but mastering the environment around them. Doctor. Voss stood at the edge of the camp, looking out into the jungle. She could sense the alien medics' attention, their fear, and their fascination. "They won't understand us," she said softly. "They never have, and they never will. But they'll remember this. Every step we take, every wound we survive, every obstacle we overcome. They'll remember it, and they'll know they cannot beat it." The fire burned low, casting flickering shadows on the humans' faces. Somewhere in the jungle, predators moved silently, testing the perimeter, but they found no easy prey. Humans were already adapted, already ready, already surviving where others would have fallen. As the night deepened, Marcus watched the stars emerge through the canopy. "They thought we were weak," he said. "They thought they could study us, control us, maybe even destroy us. They were wrong. Every human here knows what it means to survive. Every human here knows how to adapt. and that's why we're still alive." Alina smiled faintly, feeling the truth of his words. "We're more than survival," she said. "We're instinct, strategy, and resilience wrapped into one, and this is just the beginning. They haven't seen anything yet." The alien medics continued their observations, their systems straining to keep up with human biology. They had expected fragile creatures, easily managed, weak and dependent on technology. Instead, they had found a species that laughed at danger, thrived in it, and used it to grow stronger. By the time dawn approached again, Kriv-9 jungle had become familiar to the humans. Each leaf, each root, each predator was now part of their awareness. Minor injuries from the previous day had healed completely, blood clotting instantly, leaving no trace of harm. The humans were ready for whatever the jungle would throw at them next. And the alien medics knew without words that this species, this human species, could not be contained, could not be understood, and could not be controlled. They had glimpsed the edge of a power that lay not in technology or weapons, but in raw adaptability, instinct, and the most unforgiving form of survival, human biology itself. The humans of the intrepid venture continued their exploration, unaware of how deeply they had unsettled the aliens. Every step reinforced the reality: humans were not fragile. They were Deathworlders, adapted to survive, and they were already proving that no alien could match their resilience. The jungle seemed endless, but to the humans, it was just another challenge. And as they moved forward, their eyes sharp, their reflexes honed, their blood ready to heal instantly, they carried with them a silent message to the galaxy. Humanity was not to be underestimated. Not now, not ever. The humans had barely settled into a narrow valley when the first signs of alien interference appeared. It was subtle at first. Strange devices embedded in trees, thin wires snaking through the undergrowth, and faint energy readings that didn't belong to the natural environment. Marcus Trent scanned the area carefully, noting each anomaly with the precision of a seasoned explorer. He had seen attempts like this before. Alien species had always underestimated human cunning and instinct, but they sometimes still tried to intervene. "Sensors indicate movement," whispered Lieutenant Darren Hale, crouching beside Marcus. "Could be wildlife or something else." Alina Voss shook her head. "It's them," she said. "They can't leave us alone. They've been studying, testing, and now they're acting. But they won't catch us off guard, not here, not ever." The humans continued their march through the valley, careful to avoid the devices. Each step was deliberate, every path chosen with instinctive precision. Minor scratches from thorny underbrush healed immediately, tiny clots forming before even a drop of blood could escape. The alien medics, watching from a distance with advanced scanning devices, recorded everything with increasing alarm. Their expectations of human fragility were shattered beyond repair, and now desperation tinged every observation. By mid-morning, a clearing revealed the first trap. Alien containment fields had been projected in a grid, invisible to the naked eye. A simple misstep would have immobilized a human, potentially allowing capture or experimentation. But humans moved instinctively, feeling the subtle distortion in the air, dodging the fields with smooth, practiced movements. One alien voice hissed through a translator device. "They are predicting our traps. How can this be? No other species adapts so quickly. No other species anticipates hazards before they occur." Alina glanced at the alien's data pad and smirked. "Instinct," she said quietly. "We don't just react, we anticipate." The humans pressed onward, deeper into the jungle. Predators emerged, giant arachnids, venomous reptiles, and acid-spitting insects. Each attack was met with precision, coordinated movement, and swift healing. A minor cut from a venomous bite clotted instantly, neutralizing the threat. The aliens watched, taking frantic notes, their earlier confidence replaced with a sense of helplessness. By afternoon, the aliens escalated their attempts. They unleashed a controlled predator, a massive armored creature genetically modified for speed and aggression. It lunged toward the humans, jaws wide, claws extended. The humans responded not with weapons first, but with strategy. One of the team members drew the creature's attention with a decoy, while another prepared a narrow pit covered with foliage. The creature fell into it with a roar, trapped but unharmed. Humans moved around it seamlessly, avoiding injury, their blood clotting and sealing minor abrasions instantly. The alien medics were visibly shaken. They had prepared for this encounter, expecting humans to falter, expecting injury or panic. Instead, they observed humans who thrived in conditions that no other species could handle. By evening, the humans reached the base of a jagged cliff that overlooked a steaming canyon. Crossing it would be deadly for most species. The canyon was riddled with shifting rock, geysers of hot vapor, and occasional lightning storms triggered by atmospheric instability. Humans paused, evaluating the safest path, while alien observers watched through advanced optics. Marcus pointed to a series of natural footholds along the canyon wall. "We go there," he said. "Step carefully, watch your footing, trust your instincts." The humans moved as one, stepping precisely, adjusting their balance, avoiding danger instinctively. One misstep could have been fatal, but each minor scratch or scrape was instantly sealed by clotting blood. Alien medics recorded the movements obsessively, their voices hushed and tense. "They are untouchable," one whispered. "Their biology, it defies logic. Our weapons, our tech, it cannot harm them effectively. Even in the most lethal conditions, they survive and adapt." Alina smiled faintly, noting the aliens' frustration. "We're showing them what they can't control," she said. "This isn't a fight. It's a demonstration of survival." Night fell, and the humans set up a temporary camp on a plateau overlooking the canyon. Fires were small, controlled, careful to avoid attracting predators. The alien medics stayed at a distance, exhausted and anxious. They had underestimated human biology, and now they were witnessing firsthand the combination of instinct, adaptability, and resilience that made humans almost untouchable. Suddenly, movement flickered in the shadows. Alien squads had attempted a direct capture. Small, advanced grappling drones hovered silently, ready to ensnare the humans. Marcus noticed immediately and gave a hand signal. Humans reacted instinctively. A team member kicked a loose rock toward one drone, disabling its sensors. Another swiped a branch to redirect a second drone, while Alina took a step forward, revealing a minor cut on her arm. The blood dropped, and instantly the wound sealed. The alien drones faltered, their sensors detecting an anomaly they could not process. The aliens themselves were stunned. Their plan had been flawless in theory: capture a human, study their blood, and unlock the secret of rapid clotting and survival. Yet here, their technology failed against instinct and biology. By morning, the humans were ready to move again. They had learned the pattern of alien traps, anticipated environmental hazards, and mastered the unpredictable jungle. Every injury healed instantly. Every threat was countered. The aliens grew increasingly desperate, their whispers filled with disbelief and fear. Marcus convened the team. "They're testing us more aggressively now," he said. "We've handled it so far, stay sharp, every move counts." Alina added, "They won't understand us. They'll try everything, but our strength isn't just in weapons or tech. It's in our biology, our instincts, and our ability to survive. That's why we're alive. That's why we will continue to be." The team pressed forward, reaching a river with rapid currents and jagged rocks. Alien scouts attempted to ambush them from hidden positions along the banks. Humans responded with a combination of agility, strategy, and adaptation. A minor fall would have been disastrous, but the clotting process prevented bleeding, and instinctive reactions kept them from serious injury. One alien voice finally admitted the truth through a translator. "We cannot control them. Our traps, our weapons, they are ineffective." "How is this possible? No species has ever survived such conditions with such ease." Alina shook her head. "It's not just survival," she said. "It's evolution, instinct, and resilience. Humans are built for this. We've thrived where others fail. That's why we're here. That's why we endure." By afternoon, they reached a narrow pass between two cliffs. Alien squads attempted a coordinated attack, sending multiple drones and one armored predator toward the humans simultaneously. Marcus signaled the team, and they moved with perfect coordination. One human lured the predator into a narrow crevice, where it became trapped without harm. Another disabled a drone with precise timing. Minor injuries from scratches or bites were immediately sealed, blood coagulating before it could flow. The alien medics were silent for several moments, recording everything but unable to intervene. They had underestimated human adaptability, and now they understood the terrifying truth. Humans could survive, adapt, and counter threats instinctively, no matter the danger. Even the jungle seemed to recognize the humans' dominance. Predators hesitated, vines and plants seemed to part rather than entangle, and the ground beneath their feet became easier to navigate. It was as if the environment itself responded to human resilience, acknowledging them as a species that could survive anywhere. By evening, the humans had set up another camp, high in the cliffs. They were exhausted but uninjured beyond minor scrapes, each of which had healed. Alien medics stayed distant, whispering among themselves, their fear now tempered with awe. Dr. Voss examined a minor scratch on her arm, noting the speed of clotting once again. "Every time they try to capture or harm us," she said quietly, "we show them something they cannot control. They won't learn our secret and they won't forget it." Marcus looked out over the canyon. "We've survived every test, every trap, every predator. The more they push, the more we adapt. They're learning something today. Humans are not fragile. We endure and we dominate in ways they cannot even begin to understand." The night passed quietly, though vigilance remained. The humans slept lightly, instinctively prepared for threats. Minor injuries healed instantly. Every sound, every movement was processed by human senses attuned to danger. The alien medics stayed awake, documenting, analyzing, and attempting to understand a species that defied all logic. By dawn, the humans were ready to move again. Their mission continued, but so did the silent lesson to the aliens. Humans were dangerous not because of weapons, not because of technology, but because of biology, instinct, and survival. The alien medics had witnessed it firsthand, and no amount of study could fully explain it. As the humans pressed deeper into Criv 9, every step reinforced the reality. Humans were Deathworlders, evolved to survive in conditions that would crush any other species. Every minor injury healed, every predator evaded, every trap avoided was a demonstration of superiority. They were not fragile, and they were not to be underestimated. Even the alien medics, exhausted and frustrated, could not deny the truth. Humans were extraordinary. Humans were dangerous. Humans would survive where others would fail. And the humans themselves, unaware of the full impact they had on their observers, moved onward, confident, adaptable, and unstoppable, ready for whatever challenges Criv 9 would throw at them next. The morning sun rose weakly through the dense Criv 9 jungle, casting long shadows over the uneven terrain. Mist lingered among the towering ferns, swirling around the human team as if the jungle itself were alive, testing them. But humans had always thrived in environments like this. Every step, every breath, every movement was attuned to survival. Even in the face of the alien medics, traps, and predators, the team remained calm, their instincts razor-sharp. Captain Marcus Trent stood at the edge of a cliff, scanning the valley below. Alien activity had intensified overnight. Energy signatures, previously faint and scattered, now pulsed across the jungle floor like veins of light. The aliens were desperate, attempting to corner, capture, or at least contain the humans for study. But Marcus knew that desperation often leads to mistakes, and humans had a way of exploiting mistakes instinctively. Dr. Alina Voss adjusted her medkit, checking minor scratches from previous encounters. Every cut, every abrasion had sealed quickly, clotting instantly. The alien medics had watched this phenomenon for days, yet their notes revealed no understanding. Their instruments and experiments could not replicate it. Humanity was a puzzle they could not solve. "Ready?" Marcus asked, his eyes scanning for movement. "Always," Alina replied. Her voice was calm, but her senses were alert to every sound. The rustle of leaves, the faint hum of alien drones, the occasional predatory screech. Humans did not just see danger. They felt it, anticipated it, and reacted before it became a threat. The team moved silently down the cliffside, navigating jagged rocks and hidden streams. Small slips would have been fatal for any other species, but humans adapted instinctively. A minor cut from a sharp stone appeared on Alina's hand, yet the blood clotted immediately. The aliens monitoring from a distance were visibly shaken, unable to believe the speed and efficiency of human biology. Halfway down, a sudden roar erupted from the jungle floor. The alien medics had released a massive predator, engineered for speed, strength, and aggression. It lunged toward the humans, claws snapping, jaws wide. Marcus signaled, and the team responded as one. One human threw a small net to distract the creature, while another rolled a weighted log into its path. It crashed to the ground with a roar, dazed but not harmed. Another team member swung from a vine, kicking a minor explosive that created a smoke cloud, disorienting the predator further. The aliens recorded every movement, their sensors unable to predict or counter the instinctive coordination of humans. "They are untouchable," one alien muttered. Its voice trembled, translating into the human language through a device Marcus could hear faintly. "Our traps, our predators, our technology, none of it can match them. How is this possible?" Alina glanced at the alien monitor, smiling faintly. "It's called adaptation," she said quietly. "We survive. That's what humans do." As the predator fled, frustrated, the humans pressed deeper into the valley. Alien attempts to corner them had become increasingly bold. Drones hovered silently above, scanning for heat signatures. Automated energy fields appeared unexpectedly, projecting across narrow paths and hidden clearings. But humans anticipated the hazards instinctively, dodging and navigating with precision. By mid-afternoon, the humans reached a dense grove where alien squads had laid multiple traps, hoping to finally capture at least one team member. They had reinforced containment fields, set up electrified nets, and stationed armored drones along the perimeter. The alien medics observed from above, their energy exhausted, fear and awe mixing in their translucent faces. Marcus raised a hand. "Stay calm, move as one, we don't fight blindly." The humans advanced carefully, each step deliberate. The first net snapped in midair, a team member dodging instinctively. Another drone malfunctioned when minor blood drops from a scratch on Alina's arm interfered with its sensors, clotting blood forming an unrecognized pattern, creating an anomaly the drone could not compute. The alien medics were silent. Their strategies, their traps, their machines, all rendered ineffective by human instinct and biology. They whispered urgently, trying to make sense of what they were witnessing. Humans moved as though the jungle itself guided them, their bodies predicting danger and adapting in real time. The aliens then deployed a final, desperate measure, a large, armored predator, genetically engineered and enhanced with energy-resistant plating. It was massive, terrifying, and deadly. The humans paused, assessing the threat, but fear was not part of their reaction. Instead, they relied on instinct and experience. Alina signaled to the team, "Use the terrain, make it predictable. We survive because we anticipate." Humans split strategically. One lured the predator toward a series of sharp rock formations. Another positioned a controlled collapse of stones, creating a barrier. The predator lunged, claws snapping, but instinct guided every human movement. Minor injuries were immediately sealed by rapid clotting, preventing serious harm. The predator became trapped in a crevice, unable to advance. It roared in frustration but could not escape. The humans approached cautiously, ensuring no further danger. The alien medics recorded the event silently, their analysis devices overwhelmed by the humans' instinctive coordination and biological resilience. Marcus addressed the team quietly. "This is what they fear. Not weapons, not technology, us. They can't predict us, they can't control us, and they can't stop us. Remember that. This is why humans survive where others fail." Alina looked at the trapped predator, then at the distant alien medics. "They wanted to study us, control us, maybe even destroy us. But this jungle, this terrain, and our own biology, they can't overcome it." By evening, the humans had established a safe vantage point atop a cliff overlooking the valley. Fires burned low, controlled, and precise. The alien medics remained in the distance, exhausted, fearful, and awestruck. They had underestimated human resilience, and now they understood the truth. Humans were not fragile, not predictable, and not controllable. The humans set up temporary defensive measures, but there was no real fear. Minor injuries were already healed. Every predator and trap had been countered with instinct and strategy. Every danger had been anticipated and neutralized. The alien medics could only watch, documenting the impossible. Marcus stood silently, looking at the horizon. "They'll report this," he said. "They'll try to understand it, but they never will. Humans survive because we adapt. We endure because we have to, and we thrive because we can. That's the difference." Alina added quietly, "Our blood, our bodies, our instincts, it's all part of the same thing. We're not just surviving, we're mastering it. Every scratch, every bite, every obstacle, it becomes part of our advantage." The night passed uneventfully. Humans slept lightly, prepared to respond instantly. Minor injuries healed immediately. Their senses remained attuned to every sound, every movement. Even in rest, they were ready. Alien medics observed silently, their exhaustion apparent. They had witnessed a species they could not control, could not predict, and could not understand. By dawn, the humans were ready to move. The jungle stretched endlessly, but they had mapped its dangers instinctively. They had survived traps, predators, and environmental hazards that should have been lethal. Alien squads had retreated, unable to maintain control, frustrated and bewildered. Elena surveyed a small wound on her arm, now fully healed. Every time they try to stop us, we show them something new. They will never understand. They can't, but they'll remember it, Marcus nodded. They underestimated humanity for the last time. Every planet, every hazard, every opponent, they thought we were fragile. They were wrong, and now they know it. The humans pressed onward, deeper into Criv 9. Alien patrols and drones tried sporadically to intercept, but humans anticipated every move. Minor injuries sealed instantly. Every hazard, every predator, every trap was neutralized instinctively. The alien medics were forced to retreat entirely, documenting their failure but unable to intervene. By mid-afternoon, the team reached the edge of a massive chasm, stretching for kilometers, its depths shrouded in mist and shadow. Alien forces had concentrated here, hoping to finally corner the humans, but humans did not panic. They evaluated the terrain carefully, noting footholds, climbing paths, and possible hazards. Every step was deliberate. Minor scratches appeared but healed immediately. Blood clotting remained instant. One alien squad attempted a coordinated strike. Drones hovered, energy fields were projected, and armored predators were released simultaneously. Humans reacted instantly. A team member lured a predator into a narrow gorge, where it became trapped without harm. Drones were disabled through precise strikes and instinctive timing. Minor injuries sealed themselves before they could impede movement. The alien medics watched in stunned silence. Every plan, every strategy, every technological advantage had been neutralized. They realized fully that humans were not just surviving, they were thriving in a way no species could match. Marcus raised his hand, signaling the team to regroup. "They've learned their lesson," he said quietly. "We survive, we endure, we thrive. And no one, not even them, can stop us." Elena looked at the distant alien medics, her expression calm but firm. "They came here to control us, to study us, to understand us. But humans are not controllable. We survive because we adapt. We endure because we evolve. We thrive because we are humans." The humans of the intrepid venture crossed the chasm carefully, each step deliberate and precise. Minor injuries healed instantly. Predators and hazards were neutralized instinctively. By the time they reached the other side, they had proven a point not only to the alien medics, but to the galaxy itself. Humans were dangerous, adaptable, and unstoppable. The alien medics retreated into the jungle, exhausted, fearful, and awestruck. They had witnessed a species that defied expectation, biology that could not be replicated, and instinct that could not be predicted. Humans had survived every trap, every predator, every environmental hazard. Humans had prevailed without weapons, without advanced technology, relying only on biology, instinct, and adaptation. Marcus turned to his team. "They'll report back, but no one will understand what they saw. Humans endure, humans adapt, humans survive. And that's all they need to know." Elena smiled faintly. "Let them wonder," she said. "Let them try, but humanity will continue to thrive and nothing will stop us." As the sun set over Criv 9, the humans set up camp once more, exhausted but uninjured. The jungle, alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, seemed almost peaceful in their presence. Humans had faced death, predators, and alien interference, and emerged unscathed. They had proven that survival was not about technology or weapons alone, but instinct, biology, and the relentless drive to endure. For the alien medics, the lesson was clear and terrifying. Humanity could not be controlled, studied, or replicated. They had witnessed a species evolved beyond expectation, thriving in conditions designed to destroy. And for the humans, it was another day of survival, another day of proving what they had always known. Humans endure, humans adapt, and humans are unstoppable. The jungle of Criv 9 stretched endlessly before them, but the humans of the intrepid venture walked confidently, knowing that no predator, no trap, and no alien could ever take that away.